Okay, good morning. I am Lisa, and I will be your yoga teacher, guide, explorer. We are going to have fun with the beginning part of our yoga sequence. This will be my practicum for Breathe for Change Yoga 200-hour certification, plus the SEL facilitator. And I'm very happy to be in this program and to be given the opportunity to share with you now. We are going to start by doing opening, settle in, warm-ups, and sun salutation. So to start the class, I'm going to share with you some of the things that will help us get through the class in this series. Some yoga blocks, which I only have 2 different ones. And we'll also need either a blanket or perhaps a rolled up yoga mat or a bolster, pillow, anything you got to give you a little more support when necessary. So we are going to start in the position that I'm in now, which is called easy seat, or in Sanskrit Sukhasana. And you can rest your hands palms up or palms down on your knees. Many of us will feel like we want a little support for this pose. It's a foundational pose. So if it feels good to put a little something under your hips to get your hips a little higher than your knees, please do that. And putting our hands in position, let's take a couple breaths here. So as we inhale, feel your spine lengthening up. So take an inhale. Exhale, relax your shoulders, relax your body. And you can even take your sits bones and kind of relax them, ground them into the earth. We're getting earth force shooting through our spine, lengthening our spine. You can choose to keep your eyes open, shut, or soft focus gaze, halfway. Let's try this one more time. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, relax your shoulders, relax your jaw, relax everything. And now let's set an intent for this class. With all the fear and the chaos going around, I would like to set an intention today to breathe in calm, clarity, and collective consciousness. So we're in our Sukhasana, let us take 3 collective breaths, and this time we're going to raise our arms to the side as we inhale, and as we exhale, we'll come down to prayer center. Ready? Inhale, calmness. Exhale, calmness into the center of our being. Inhale, clarity. Exhale, clarity coming into our crown chakra, our 3rd eye, our Vishuddha or 3rd chakra, and right down to our heart center. One more time. Inhale, collective consciousness. Exhale, taking guidance from our ancestors, our earthly beings, and our energetic entities on earth and in space, and bringing them back to our heart in the center of our being. Bring your hands back down to your side, and let's take another breath here. And now let's experiment with changing whatever leg we chose to put in front, and let's put the other leg in front. Our legs are not going to be on top of each other for this, just one in front of another, it may feel a little more awkward the second way because it's not your first natural choice, but that's okay because it's good to practice both sides. And here we're going to do a couple of stretches for our back. So taking our left hand onto our right knee, and we're going to put our right arm in back of us. We're going to inhale, feeling the spine lengthen nice and tall, and as we exhale, we're going to give a gentle twist to our right side. Our shoulder can go, our head can go over our shoulder if that feels okay. Let's try this now. So exhale. And one more time. Inhale, spine lengthening, and exhale, gentle twist to the right. Notice where you feel this twist in your core. And if it feels uncomfortable, see if you can adjust it, either back off a little or put the twist in another area. Come back to center. And let's try this on the other side. Right hand coming to your left knee. Left hand in back of us. Inhale, spine growing up tall. Exhale, gentle twist to the left side. One more time. Inhale, spine growing up tall. And exhale, twisting to your left again. And come back to center. Now, if it's uncomfortable with this leg in front and you want to change and readjust for the next stretch here, feel free to do that. This is all about gaining flexibility and facility within our comfort range. So if you're comfortable, you'll have more patience and stay at it longer. So now we're going to do another stretch. We're going to stretch our right side, and to do this, we're going to take our left arm, put it beside us, and as we inhale, we're going to inhale up our right arm. And as we exhale, we're going to take a side stretch, we're going to stretch to the left, but we're stretching our right side. The neck can be in a relaxed place in the middle, or if you prefer to look up or down, if that gives you a stretch, feel free to do that. Eyes again can be however you'd like to keep them, closed or open, however you'd like to feel the stretch. So exhale, take a couple of inhale and exhales here. Really feeling the stretch between your ribs and all the oxygen coming in, circulating, giving energy to your internal organs. And on your next exhale, come back to the side, center, and let's do this on the other side. So putting your right side out beside you. Inhale, left side comes up. Exhale, stretch your left side, stretch over to the right. I forgot to say relax your shoulders. Feeling the stretch in your rib cage on your left side. Feeling all the delicious oxygen coming, energizing your cells, your organs. Take a couple breaths here. And come back to center. Okay, from here, let's take our feet and let's do a little butterfly. So putting the soles of our feet together, you can put your hands on your feet to keep them together. Let's just see if we can get a little flexibility in our hips, relax our hips and our knees a little bit. Okay, and now we are going to come into our tabletop, and then we will do cat and cow stretch. So for tabletop, let's see here which one works better. Okay, for tabletop, our palms are going to be right underneath our shoulders. Best if we can have our index fingers facing straight out. That gets our arm extension in the right position. And our knees will be directly under our hips. We should have a flat back here, so adjust however you need to, and neck, head is facing down to the floor. On our exhale, let's come into our cat stretch. So we're gonna flex the spine, arching it up, just like a Halloween cat. Feel where you feel that stretch there. Feel what feels good. Feel what needs to be adjusted. And then inhale into cow pose, making our spine concave. Our shoulders are relaxed and chest widens, and our gaze is facing straight up to the wall. Okay, a couple more times. Exhale into cat pose. Inhale, cow pose. And exhale, cat pose. Inhale, cow pose. Now to relax from this, let's try going into child pose. So we put our big toes together, if this is comfortable, bringing our knees a little out to the side, and then we come down, stretching our arms forward, putting our forehead on the earth or on your yoga mat. Now for me this is slightly uncomfortable, so I prefer the version with your knees straight forward. It's easier on my knees, and I get a good stretch on my shoulders that way. And we also have the option to bring our hips up a little for kind of like a puppy pose. These are poses that we can use. The child's pose or balasana and the tabletop, we can elect to use that instead of the next pose that I'm going to show you, which is downward dog, that we're going to use for our vinyasa sequence. So let's try to come up into downward dog now. So back to tabletop, and then we're going to press our toes into the mat, and then we're going to come up into downward dog. So downward dog, we're going to try to find just the right size, not too short, not too long. The goal is to have your ankles on the ground. However, depending on our body type, it doesn't really matter if it's on the ground. The purpose of the downward dog is to get a nice long stretch in your spine, and we want to make sure that our ears are between our arms and our head is pointing down. This is an inverted pose. It's another pose that's in a lot of the yoga vinyasas. So let's try to do some walking of our dog. So let's take your feet and walk them, walk up on the ball and the feet, feeling like the stretching of your back of your legs. Okay, very good. And now come back into tabletop and into child pose, and let's take a small rest from that. So we're going to come back and we're going to do a couple more warm-ups now before we go into our vinyasa. And we are going to do low lunge and half split to further warm up our legs. So from low lunge, we want to be in tabletop. this. And then we're going to take our right foot first and we're going to put it up by our hands. And our knee can be a little bit forward of our foot if that feels good for a stretch. And I also forgot that for some of us, this stretch is challenging on the knees, as even tabletop can be. So if you want to put something under your knees to help with this, that will help us to get more into this stretch. So again, bringing our foot up between our hands, and then we're going to take a stretch. This is going to stretch the left side of our quadriceps and our psoas muscle and our groin area. Okay, take a couple of breaths here. You can keep your arms down. You can put them on blocks if you want. This gives a lot of stability. Or if it feels okay, you can bring your arms up overhead on your hips, cactus. Okay, and now let's inch the foot forward to go into half split. So for half split, we have the option of putting our foot down, which will support this stretch, or if you're very flexible, you can flex your foot. Our knee is going to be under our hip, and we're trying to keep both hips forward. If you're very flexible, feel free to try to keep your back straight and touch your nose to your leg. But just find the comfortable area. If that's too much, back off a little and just take the stretch. Take a couple of breaths here. And when you're ready to come out of it, just bring your leg back, switch legs.